Good afternoon, Mikel.
Afternoon.
Can we start off with team news first of all? We were filming open training yesterday. No Bukayo, no Martin Odegaard, no Jurriën Timber or Calafiori. Are any of those available for tomorrow?
Yeah, there have been changes there since yesterday, yeah.
And all four available?
I don't know. Some of them.
Okay. Eberechi was there.
Yeah.
How big a boost is it to have him back? And
He's available.
Has that surprised you? Is it ahead of schedule?
He has, but my first conversation with him after he felt an ego, he wanted to be available the next week. We knew that was impossible, but the recovery, I think the will that he's shown from day one to get back as quick as possible, how he's pushed the medical staff and himself to be there tomorrow is just great to watch.
And Piero Hincapié is still out, is he?
There will be changes tomorrow. Good try.
Could I then, Mikel, ask you about your relationship with your players and the trust that you have with your players? And the context I want to ask you this question is, how much did you have to pick them up yourself after Southampton and City? And how much did you leave them to it?
I think it's a balance. As I said the other day, I think it's better to observe first, to see the natural reaction, to see what we are made of, to see what's the first instinct, collective and individually from players after an scenario that we didn't have off-season. And then you can intervene based on that. But to be fair, they didn't need much because the reaction was top, as I said before. The understanding of why we lost those matches and how we were going to put it right, and I think it was a really good reaction against Sporting.
You play before City this weekend. If you win, you go 12 points clear. How big an opportunity do you see this as, and how big a psychological blow do you feel you can strike against City if you were to win? Yeah,
the closer we get, the relevance and the importance of the match increases, obviously, and tomorrow is a big day for us. The players know it, our supporters know it. It's 12:30 kickoff. It's an early kickoff, so get up early, have an early breakfast, bring your lunch, bring your dinner, how you say in England, and let's go all together for it because it has to be a big day.
You spoke on Tuesday, Mikel, about the pride you have working with the people that you do.
Yeah.
Would you say that that pride and that unity is tested or reinforced when you have difficult moments like you've just had?
I think reinforced because that talks about your culture and the identity of this club and the team. And to define that, you have to go through different scenarios, different moments, individually and collectively. And I always said that that's one of the proudest things that I have, not only with the people, but as well our supporters as well. They always been with the team regardless the situation, and that's rare to see in football.
And I'm sure you will want that to continue for longer. Is there anything you can tell us with regard to?
I think that attitude and that behavior and that unity gives you more will to win for them, and that possibility, opportunity to make so people proud and happy increases, and that's what is driven everybody, me first of all, and then all the players and the people in the organisation.
You just might miss what I just said right at the end there.
Sorry.
About your contract, if there was any.
Okay.
If there was any thing you can tell us, have there been any talks about a new deal?
No, there's no news on that. I think we'll have time to discuss that now. The full focus is on what we have to do from here till the end of the season.
Just finally, you've always spoken about getting your players to create their own history. How much belief do you have that they can do something they haven't done for 22 years and win the league, and do something that they've never done and win the Champions League?
A lot, because I see them every single day. And first of all, the capacity that we have as a club, as a team, again, the will to win, and we all recognize the opportunity ahead, and we're going to do our best to try to achieve it.
Thank you.
Hello.
Afternoon, hi Mikel. Going on what Dharmesh was just asking about your contract, I'm sure you saw the other reports linking a couple of young players with moves in the summer, Miles and Ethan. I just wondered, how difficult is it for you to manage the ambition to become a club that is a dominant force challenging for titles, whilst also keeping the DNA of the club there, because fans are so invested in these young hairline boys and want to see them do well. You see the likes of Saka almost fulfilling a dream of many. So how do you strike that balance?
It's part of us, and I think at the end what it has to define this football club is to seek for the excellent and to seek for the best, regardless you're coming from the academy, from abroad. At the end, if we can have players from Highland, obviously much better because the identity is there. We grow with them and they know exactly what we're looking for. But then they have to earn it, and not for a week, not for a month, for years, like anybody else. It doesn't matter in what department or role you have in the club. At the end, you have to sustain performance, and that has to be at the very highest level if we want to win and sustainably be where we want to be.
Given the success that Arsenal has had in challenging for the Premier League in recent years, do you feel, I guess, the period of time for those younger players to prove to you that they should be a part of that, it is maybe becoming shorter because the margins are finer?
The margins are shorter, but we're doing something as well that is unprecedented. I mean, we have players that played in competitions that nobody else has done at that age. So I think the balance is there. We are doing everything that we can to accommodate that, especially because they deserve the opportunity, which is the best thing. Nobody's here to give a gift, an opportunity to somebody that doesn't deserve it. Everybody that has been in around the first team because they deserve to be there.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, you've already drummed up the enthusiasm. You want fans there. Maybe they should have an early Friday night as well to make sure they get there on time for kickoff. Bournemouth are on this 11-game unbeaten run. I guess when you come up against Antonio Areola, someone who's from the same part of Spain as you as well, there is the rivalry there, but do you also have a sense of pride that you've got someone from your home area also doing incredible things in the league?
Yes, it's amazing what is done together with the club, the consistency that they've shown, the manner that they've done it, and the amount of players that they sold, how they have reinventing themselves, and then the run that they are in is incredible because we know how tough the Premier League is. When it comes down to pride, it's huge. When it comes to rivalry on match day, it's even bigger.
It goes out the window. Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Tom from Rich.
Hi, Mikel. Can I ask you about the 12:30 kickoff? Because, as mentioned, I think the fans received an email yesterday encouraging them to be there in their droves and be there in the right state of mind. What is it about a 12:30 kickoff that proves so challenging?
I don't know, but I think for every game we have to be, but we know the meaning of every match here and the opportunity that we have, especially when we play at home. We need to maximize every result. So it's about each individual, how we turn up there. It's not about being in the stadium. It's actually impacting the game, the atmosphere and the energy in that stadium. And that's very different. And whoever goes there tomorrow, I will please ask him to be with that mindset, with that energy and commitment, because the team is going to respond beautifully to that.
And you've done a lot of travelling this season. There was a period where you played 4 away games in a row. You then had Wembley and Southampton and then Lisbon. You've now got, besides City and the Champions League games, the rest of your games are all in London in the Premier League. How much of a benefit is that?
Yeah, we need to exploit that and use an advantage. As you say, we traveled so much during the last 9 months, and now it's not going to be that much as well. We're going to have 2 clean weeks in between now and the final game of the season. So that's something very positive. Let's use it.
What?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just on Eberechi.
Change your seat.
It was taken. I'm going to adjust, but yeah, on Eberechi, I was just going to ask, before his injury, you spoke about understanding him better.
Who?
Eberechi.
Okay.
And I was just wondering what in this kind of time with him being out, have you kind of grown to understand him even more, and what aspects of him as a person?
It's a great question. So one of them, I didn't know that he was so determined, so obsessed, and so willing to push his body. I didn't know that part of him, and it really surprised me in a really powerful way, how much he loves the game. When you take somebody the opportunity to play, you really see the reaction, and his was, wow. How involved he was in and around the team, the energy that he brings every day in the building, and then we use that time as well, obviously, to identify areas where he can impact the game, get his opinion wide and open about where he sees himself, where he's more comfortable, what he sees about the team, and I think we use that time in a really good way.
Are those things he identified similar to, I guess, the spaces and areas he was in when he was in form just before he got injured?
Yeah, that's on the attacking side, but there are other areas as well that obviously he didn't feel they were that important, or things that we discussed that probably in other teams he hasn't discussed as that vital and important to change games or to win football matches, that he recognizes that. And yeah, he's such an intelligent person, and so easy to talk to him.
Matt from Stanley.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You place a big emphasis on your finishers, and that's obviously paid off this season. Has it got to a stage, particularly in attack, where sometimes you almost make some line-up decisions in reverse, deciding who you want to go off the bench, sort of almost as much who you want to start?
There are games that is yes, not only for the impact, but as well for some physical restrictions that we can have, or to find some freshness, or the type of opposition plays as well, and how we can adapt to what they do, or we can hurt them, and that's a big part when we have the players that we have. When we have players available, obviously, to do that is a big advantage.
And in Lisbon, Gabby Martelli particularly looked really sharp off the bench. What, I guess, are the traits that made him so effective in that finish role?
Well, first of all, his mentality, and Gabi is a winner. Gabi is someone that it doesn't matter what you're doing out there, he wants to be the best. And when he starts, great. When he doesn't, he's still the same specimen, and wants to win, and he would do anything to win. That's what I love about him.
Phil from PA.
Hi, Mikel. I appreciate earlier you said there's no news on the contract, but do you see your long-term future being here? I mean, Arsenal are doing so well this season. I wonder whether there's been interest from other clubs, but you're totally committed to Arsenal. Yeah,
I'm fully committed here. I'm really happy, and I feel good. My family is good. I still have so much ambition and things to do in this football club, and for now we are in a good place.
This club's got a pretty remarkable record. I think it's 5 managers in the last 40 years. People like Arsenal doing 20 plus years. Do you see yourself being in that job for as long as that?
I'm gonna take what I said to the fans: bring your lunch, bring your dinner. It's about tomorrow and Sefini. This is this job. It's about the presence when you do on the day. Give your very best, and feel that you are the person as well that can lead and inspire this group to achieve great things for the club. And at the moment I feel that way, and hopefully we're gonna feel that way for the rest of the week with a great outcome at the end of the season.
Okay, last couple in the S live. Charles from goal.
Hi, Mikel. Can I talk about Mikel Merino? You said, and we heard from Spain as well, how complicated that injury was and how rare it was. I was just wondering, we're in April now, obviously, how that recovery, what sort of stage he's at with the recovery, and are you hopeful we might see him again this season? Well,
it's another one that is going to push every boundary. He's out of his boot now. He's doing quite a lot of exercises already. He's reacted really well to the surgery. He's got no pain. It's more for the medical staff to go a bit further on that, but I'm sure there is a chance to make that period shorter. If there is a person that can do it, I'm sure that's going to be Mikel again.
And just on Aaron Ramsey, I think it's the first time you've spoken since he announced his retirement from football. One of the key players of the Emirates era at Arsenal, your former teammate, of course, scorer of some historic goals at this club. I just wondered if you wanted to say any words on Aaron and the career that he enjoyed.
Well, again, a long career, full of great moments, full of challenges, and again, that's another one when you see those difficult moments, how he reacted to them, how he overcomes certain situations that look very, very difficult. Top character, top guy, a very good teammate of mine, and what a career he's had with different clubs, with his country as well, and a different life starts, and I wish him all the best.
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel. In the corresponding fixture last season, obviously you lost the game 2-1 to Bournemouth from 2 set-piece goals. How important is obviously to rectify that again in this game moving forward? And then obviously winning the game tomorrow, how important is that with obviously the 2 disappointing results you had in the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, we need to learn certainly that lesson, and away from home as well. We conceded a set-piece goal the year before as well. So it's an area that they are really strong, and we certainly have to improve to create the margin and the game context that we want. So we're going to have to be really good at that.